In this video, we're going to go over how to e-file a prior year tax return. Now, once you've logged into your software and you're looking at the dashboard, you're going to want to go over to the left-hand side of the page and we're going to click on Clients. Now, once we're looking at our list of clients here, we've got a row of icons that run across the top of the page, and we're going to look for the one that says Prior Year Return. Now, the first thing we need to do is we need to select the year in question. So to be able to e-file, you first have to create a prior year return. So you're going to select one of the years that applies to your tax return, and then you're going to click on Create New Return, and you're going to enter all of the information as you were preparing a normal tax return, just like any other time. There's no difference. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to complete a tax return, and then I'm going to jump ahead to the Form 8879, and we'll go over the process of e-filing this prior year return. Alright, so I went ahead and entered all the information into our sample tax return, and now that everything's been completed, I've navigated here to the Form 8879, where I will be entering the taxpayer PIN and the signature date, and that it was entered by the ERO, and we're going to click on Save, just like we normally would. And so the next step in our e-file process for a prior year return is we want to click on Verify up here at the top. And this is going to check for any errors in the federal and within the state return, and luckily nothing has been found, so everything is okay. And then we're going to come here to Complete. Alright, and so now we got a couple of questions we're being asked here, and now for the first two about marking the return as completed and marking the return as reviewed, these have to be answered yes to be able to e-file it. If one or both of them are set as no, it will not allow you to e-file this tax return. Now, if we click on Save and Redirect to Manage Returns, it's going to take us out of the program. Back to our dashboard. If we click on Save and Close, it'll just close this window and leave us here within the tax return. So what we're going to do here on this one is we're going to click on Save and Redirect. I'm finished with everything, so we'll go ahead and click on this button. Alright, so now I'm back here at the prior year return screen. So I have our buttons here, and so what we have to do next, since we have entered all of our information, we're ready to go, we have to do the client payment. So we're going to click on Client Payment, and I'm going to, right here, our status is not yet paid. So you can have the option for an invoice if they're going to pay you later, or you can do payment if they're going to pay you now. And for this example, we're just going to do payment. So I'm going to plug in a charge for both federal and state, and then I'm going to click on Continue. Alright, and then down below, because it is a prior year, there is no refund transfer option available. You'll just have to select by cash or check in the amount paid, and then just click on Save and Continue. Alright, so now that we see here that our prior year has been set as paid, so I'm going to click on this back arrow here, and it takes us back to this prior screen. So now what we're going to do, we have created a return, we've entered all the information, we've completed the payment, so now we're going to go to Queue for Transmit. Okay, so now these are the returns that are ready to go. So if you have multiple and you want to send them all, you can check this box here, select all for transmission, and hit this button up here, Transmit Selected Return. If we just have one, so for this example here, this number 3, the prior year, I'm just going to select this one here. We're filing both federal and state, and I'm going to click on Transmit to go ahead and send it right away. Alright, so there's one more screen, and you'll have to just check the box here for 1040, and then the Piggyback e-file. If this applies, not every state has this, but if it does, you'll need to select that one, and then we'll click on Save and Continue. Alright, so now we see on our list that return is no longer here. So if I click on this back arrow up here at the top, and I go to click on Get e-file Status, and let's see, you can search by these options up here, or you can click down here on these buttons for all queued, all accepted, all rejected, transmitted, and filed. We're going to click on, I believe it'll be under all queued, and there is my prior year return. Here's when it was created. And let's get the status. And so we can see the information here about the return, and we can see right now it is queued. And we can always come back to this screen here, right here, to get EFile status to track it as we go along. And you can search again by the social, the name, by any of that information, or just by clicking these buttons down here to pull up all returns. And that is how you start and EFile a prior year return.